Welcome back to Recap Channel. The movie begins in 1953 with a young girl named Elise living with her family in New Mexico. Gerald, Elise's father, works as an executioner in a nearby prison. One night, shortly after a prisoner is executed via electric chair, Elise begins to see paranormal things, including knowing the prisoner's name, family, and crime. Elise's mother speaks with her, saying that while her father may not understand her gifts, she can always come to her for help. As they go to sleep, Elise's mother gives Christian, Elise's brother, a toy whistle and promises that any time he uses it, she will be there to protect him. They fall asleep, but Elise is woken up by a noise in the room. She tries to talk to the spirit, but it scares her and her brother, causing them to scream. Gerald comes in and tries to get Elise to say she didn't see a ghost, but she refuses. He gets angry and hits her, then throws her into the basement, leaving her in the dark. One day, a demon tempted a woman named Elise to open a door. The demon made the house shake violently, and Elise ended up strangling another woman named Audrey. Elise's husband Gerald found Audrey's dead body. Later, Elise woke up from the nightmare. Elise is a paranormal investigator who helps people who are experiencing paranormal activity. She is called by Ted Garza, who is living in Elise's childhood home, and he tells her about the activity he's been experiencing. Elise is hesitant at first, but then she decides to accept the job and go help Ted. Elise is staying in New Mexico with her old friend Garza. He tells her that there have been a lot of paranormal incidents happening in the house, mostly in her old bedroom. Elise does a walk through the house that night, using a night vision camera. While in her old room, she finds Christian's whistle under the bed and a set of keys attached to her father's old uniform. She is led to the basement by mysterious sounds, where a female ghost appears. When the ghost is about to touch Elise, she jumps her from behind, steals the whistle, and shouts, "Help her." Elise then tells the story of how she saw the ghost when she was a teenager. Gerald appears, but doesn't see the ghost. She pleads with him not to abuse her, and grabs his face, revealing to him that he suffers a heart attack and dies in the future. She then runs away from home and abandons Christian. Elise is with her colleagues at a cafe when two women sit down next to her. She recognizes them as Christian's daughters, her nieces. Christian walks in, sees her, and gets upset. He accuses her of lying and abandoning him and their father. Christian storms out, refusing to talk to her anymore. Elise gives one of the daughters a picture of Christian's whistle and tells her to give it to him. She says she found it in their old bedroom. Elise and Tucker are exploring the house at night when they hear a whistle coming from the basement. They follow the sound and find a girl who is chained to the wall. Garza comes in and threatens them, but Specs disarms him and kills him. The police arrive and rescue the girl. Elise is then brought in for questioning. Elise is at the police station, being questioned about her niece Melissa. She suddenly sees Melissa's ghost in the police station and realizes that her brother and his two daughters have gone to the house to find a whistle that has sentimental value to Christian. While they are there, Melissa is lured into the basement by Key Face, which pretends to be her father. Key Face attacks Melissa and inserts a key finger into her throat, and then takes away her soul into the further. Christian and Imogene are trying to find Melissa when Elise comes rushing there and finds her in the secret cellar room. Melissa is unconscious, bloody, and tied up in chains. Elise vows to get Melissa's soul back. This prompts Imogene to admit to Elise that she can see spirits too and stays to help Elise. Elise and Tucker are looking for a ghost in the basement, and they find a red door that leads to the further. They search for a red Bible that they think will help them find the ghost, while Imogene and Specs try to find the Bible. Elise finds a nightgown that belonged to a female ghost, and when she holds it, she sees a vision of the ghost being killed by her father. She also finds a suitcase full of bones, and when she goes to investigate, she is attacked by a ghost and taken into the further. With Elise now on the moor and captured by Key-Face, Imogen goes to the moor for the first time to try and save her. She met Anna, who took her to the red door and gave her a whistle saying she couldn't get past that point. Elise is then seen locked in a cage, with a collar around her neck, reliving the horror of Gerald beating her as a child for admitting she could see ghosts. She then sees Gerald being dominated by the evil entity, who then presents Elise with a stick to beat him up and get revenge on her. Imogen finds Elise and yells at her, then breaks free by telling Key-Face she will hate him no more, and feeding off his hatred, cuts off the stick. Elise realizes that Gerald was the devil's puppet when she hears him use Garza's words about the entity in his head. Key-Face is about to take Imogen and Melissa's souls when Elise introduces herself and stops. Key-Face then stabs Melissa, causing her body in the real world to start dying, then hits an animatronic Elise to silence and control her. Then Imogen threw her a whistle. She uses it, prompting Audrey to come to her aid and save them, defeating Key-Face. She reunites with her mother and tries to apologize for her death, but her mother has already forgiven her. Realizing Melissa is dying, the trio move to leave the moor quickly. Melissa's spirit returns to her body, saving her life. Elise and Imogen return to the real world and quickly head to the hospital to meet up with Melissa and Christian. Christian forgives Elise, she gives him a whistle, they hug and Elise leaves for her home in California. Elise has a scary dream where she sees Dalton being threatened by a monster. But when she wakes up, she gets a call from someone who says that Dalton is in trouble and needs her help. So she agrees to meet him and help him out.